Mary Thompson had lived in the same small town for her entire life. Nestled among rolling hills and vast fields, the town was a place where everyone knew each other. Mary was a well-known figure in this community, not just for her warm heart, but also for her bare feet. She hadn't worn shoes in over 40 years, ever since the day she married her late husband, John. He had always joked that she was as free as the wind, and she embraced it, never feeling the need to bind her feet again. Now in her 70s, Mary's life revolved around her family, especially her granddaughter, Lily. From the moment Lily was born, there was an unbreakable bond between them. Lily's parents worked long hours, so Mary often took care of her, teaching her about life, love, and the beauty of the world around them. Lily was about to graduate from high school, a milestone that filled Mary with immense pride. Lily was the first in their family to reach this point, and Mary was determined to be there, despite her bare feet and the whispers of the townsfolk. She ignored the murmurs and disapproving glances. Nothing could keep her from seeing her granddaughter walk across that stage. The day of the graduation dawned bright and warm. Mary dressed in her best Sunday dress, a floral print that John had always loved. She brushed her silver hair until it gleamed, tying it back with a ribbon. She looked at herself in the mirror, her bare feet peeking out from beneath the dress. She smiled, thinking of John and how he would have laughed at her stubbornness. As she walked to the school, her feet brushed the familiar paths, each step bringing memories of the past and hopes for the future. She arrived early, securing a seat near the front. Other parents and grandparents filled the rows, their chatter a background hum to her own thoughts. The ceremony began with the usual speeches and awards. Mary clapped enthusiastically for each student, her heart swelling with pride as Lily's name drew nearer. Finally, it was time. Lily, looking radiant in her cap and gown, walked confidently to the stage. Mary's eyes filled with tears as she watched her granddaughter receive her diploma. Then something unexpected happened. The principal, Mr. Jenkins, stepped up to the microphone. He was a kind man, known for his dedication to his students. He cleared his throat, and the audience quieted down. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "before we conclude today's ceremony, there is someone very special here with us. Someone who has been an inspiration not just to her family, but to the entire community. Mary Thompson, could you please come to the stage?" Mary's heart skipped a beat. She looked around, bewildered, but the encouraging smiles from the crowd urged her forward. With a deep breath, she rose from her seat and walked to the stage, her bare feet making no sound on the polished wood. As she reached the podium, Mr. Jenkins extended a hand to help her up. "Mary," he said warmly, "we all know you as the barefoot grandmother who loves her family dearly. But today, we want to honor you for the countless ways you've supported and inspired us all." Mary felt a lump in her throat, tears welling up as she looked out over the crowd. She saw familiar faces, people she had known for decades, all smiling and applauding. Her gaze found Lily's, and the pride in her granddaughter's eyes made her heart swell. Mr. Jenkins continued, "Mary, your strength, kindness, and unwavering spirit have been a beacon for everyone. You've shown us the importance of love, community, and being true to oneself. It's our honor to recognize you today." He handed her a bouquet of flowers and a plaque inscribed with her name and the words, "For a lifetime of love and inspiration." Mary took them, her hands trembling. She tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, she nodded, her eyes shining with gratitude. The crowd erupted into applause, a standing ovation that echoed through the auditorium. Mary felt overwhelmed but deeply touched. She had never sought recognition, but this moment was a testament to the life she had lived, the values she had cherished, and the love she had given. As she left the stage, Lily met her at the bottom of the steps. "Grandma," she whispered, hugging Mary tightly, "I'm so proud of you. You've always been my hero." Mary kissed Lily's cheek, her voice finally finding its strength. "And you've always been mine, sweetheart." The rest of the ceremony passed in a blur, but Mary's heart was full. Afterward, as families gathered to celebrate, Mary and Lily walked home together, hand in hand. They took the long route, the one that passed by the fields and the little stream where Lily had played as a child. "Do you remember the stories you used to tell me here, Grandma?" Lily asked, her eyes sparkling with nostalgia. Mary nodded, a smile playing on her lips. "Of course, I do. And you always believed every word." "Because they were magical," Lily said. "Just like you." They reached Mary's house, a quaint cottage with a garden that John had lovingly tended. The roses were in full bloom, their scent filling the air. Mary and Lily sat on the porch, looking out at the world that had shaped their lives. "Grandma," Lily said softly, "I want you to know that I'm going to college to study education. I want to help kids, just like you've always helped me." Mary's eyes filled with tears again, but these were tears of joy. "That's wonderful, Lily. You'll be amazing. You've always had a gift for helping others." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, the sun setting in a blaze of color. As the first stars began to twinkle in the sky, Mary took Lily's hand in hers. "Lily," she said, her voice gentle but firm, "always remember that the most important thing in life is to be true to yourself. Don't let anyone make you feel less than you are. You are strong, beautiful, and capable of anything." Lily nodded, squeezing her grandmother's hand. "I will, Grandma. I promise." The days that followed were filled with preparations for Lily's departure to college. Mary helped her pack, sharing stories and advice along the way. On the day Lily left, the whole family gathered to see her off. Mary stood by the car, her bare feet firmly planted on the ground, her heart heavy with the impending separation but also bursting with pride. "Take care of yourself, Lily," Mary said, hugging her tightly. "And don't forget to write." "I won't, Grandma," Lily promised, tears in her eyes. "I'll miss you every day." As the car drove away, Mary waved until it was out of sight. She turned back to her house, feeling the ache of loneliness but also the warmth of the memories they had shared. She knew that Lily would make her way in the world, carrying with her the lessons and love that had been passed down through generations. The months passed, and letters from Lily arrived regularly. She wrote about her classes, her new friends, and the experiences that filled her days. Each letter was a lifeline for Mary, a connection to the granddaughter she adored. One day, a letter arrived that was different from the rest. Lily wrote about a project she was working on, a tribute to the most influential person in her life. She asked Mary if she could come to her school to be part of the presentation. Mary's heart soared. She had never traveled far from her hometown, but for Lily, she would go anywhere. She wrote back immediately, saying she would be there. The day of the presentation arrived, and Mary found herself on a bus, heading to the city where Lily's college was located. The journey was long, but her excitement kept her going. She thought about all the stories she had shared with Lily, all the lessons she had tried to impart, and hoped that she had made a difference. When she arrived at the college, Lily was there to greet her, her smile brighter than ever. "Grandma," she exclaimed, hugging Mary tightly. "I'm so glad you're here." "I wouldn't miss it for the world," Mary replied, her eyes shining with love. Lily led her to the auditorium where the presentation would take place. Mary marveled at the size of the campus, so different from the small school Lily had graduated from. The auditorium was filled with students and faculty, all there to see the projects. Lily's presentation was the last one of the day. As she took the stage, she looked out at the audience, her eyes finding Mary's. She smiled, taking a deep breath before she began. "Today, I want to talk about someone who has shaped my life in more ways than I can count. Someone who taught me the value of kindness, resilience, and being true to oneself. My grandmother, Mary Thompson." Mary's heart swelled with pride as Lily spoke, her words painting a picture of the life they had shared. She talked about the barefoot walks, the stories by the stream, and the unwavering support that had guided her through the years. "She has always been there for me," Lily said, her voice filled with emotion. "Her strength and love have been my foundation. And today, I want to honor her for all that she has done." Lily invited Mary to the stage, just as Mr. Jenkins had done at the graduation ceremony. Mary's steps were slow, but her heart was light. She stood beside Lily, looking out at the audience, feeling a mixture of pride and humility. "Grandma," Lily said, her voice breaking slightly, "you are my hero. Thank you for being the most incredible grandmother anyone could ask for. Your love has shaped me into the person I am today, and I am forever grateful for everything you've done." Tears welled up in Mary's eyes as she embraced Lily, feeling an overwhelming surge of love and pride. The audience erupted into applause, the sound echoing through the auditorium. Mary glanced out at the sea of faces, seeing not just strangers, but people who had been touched by her story, by her love. As the applause died down, Mary stepped forward to speak, her voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside her. "Thank you, Lily," she began, her gaze never leaving her granddaughters. "You are the light of my life, and I am so proud of the person you've become." She turned to face the audience, her eyes scanning the room. "I never imagined that my simple way of life would have such an impact on others. But I've learned that love knows no boundaries, and kindness has the power to change the world." Mary spoke from the heart, sharing stories of her own childhood, of the struggles and triumphs that had shaped her into the woman she was today. She talked about the importance of family, of community, and of never losing sight of what truly matters in life. As she finished speaking, the auditorium was filled with applause once again. Mary stepped back, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. She knew that no matter where life took her, she would always carry the love of her family in her heart. After the presentation, Mary and Lily walked out of the auditorium, arm in arm. The campus was alive with chatter and laughter, the air filled with the promise of the future. Mary looked at Lily, her eyes shining with pride. "You did an amazing job, sweetheart," she said, squeezing Lily's hand. Lily smiled, leaning her head against Mary's shoulder. "I couldn't have done it without you, Grandma. You're my inspiration." They walked together in companionable silence, the bond between them stronger than ever. As they headed back to Mary's hometown, Mary knew that no matter what the future held, she would always be surrounded by love. And with that knowledge, she took each step forward, barefoot and unafraid, ready to embrace whatever came her way.